Mary, would you like to give your final talk or words next?
Thank you. I'll just summarize, and it takes in a lot of what we've talked about and what we've heard so far. I mean, the narrative out there is not ours. You know, racism, sexism, other forms of inequality is a very intentional piece of our capitalist society, which is led by people who don't look like us, by and large, right? And so there's a lot of challenges there. And the rights that we have gained over our history have never been given to us, especially women or racialized workers or marginalized workers. Those rights have been taken through struggle and through dedication, through courage, through perseverance. And it's hard work. And it's hard work, but it's very, very necessary work. And it's work that those conversations that are uncomfortable, some of them we've had today, some of them we'll have over time, are really important. It's important to bring people together, but it's work that we can't ever give up. And there's times I know you want to scream and throw up your hands and walk away because it seems like it gets worse. It seems like sometimes it's hard to win those battles, or we step backwards on the gains that we've had, but we really don't have that choice. I think we need to find ways to work together to find our common causes and to keep that anger that we have into an energy that will help us continue to fight that, to make sure that it or them don't win, those who aren't us. And I think that's a really important piece. Especially considering the current pandemic, for example, which we know disproportionately impacted women, as well as non-binary and gender diverse people, and even more so for Black, Indigenous, women of color, women with disabilities, who all face that multi-layered inequality, poverty, discrimination, and violence. And we're trending in the wrong direction in all of that. We're becoming more unequal. We're becoming, there's more violence, especially in light of the pandemic that's exposed a lot of gaps in the social infrastructure of our province. So in a political point, there's lots of reasons why that inequality has been exacerbated, and lots of reasons why we need to acknowledge that and make it part of our work. Rosemary Brown said, you know, until all of us have made it, none of us have made it. And so I feel, as someone who's been doing this work for a long time, that I have an obligation to keep going. I also have an obligation to make space in leadership positions for other voices. I have an obligation to ensure that the organization that I'm currently with does all the work that it needs to do to create those more spaces and more voices. This is, you know, personally the end of my term. I retire at the end of this year as president of the Federation. I did that intentionally. I set that that information out many years ago, a couple of years ago at our last convention, so that we could make space, but it doesn't mean we don't continue to fight. And I think, you know, as exhausted as women are, especially racialized women and women who've been disproportionately disadvantaged, not just during the pandemic, but always in our history, that we still need to work as hard as we can. And if those who are exhausted can't do it right now, that's fair enough. They've played more than their fair share, and so we owe them, and we must fight for them until we've won more equality there. And I think it sounds trite, it sounds like cliches that we talk about how we have to do that, but it's been the way we've won the victories that we have won. The union movement is not without its problems, and it's not without its own racism and sexism and everything else, but unions have been good for women. And I would also say that women have been really good for unions, and unions are in a good position to make good collective bargaining gains in the workplace, but also in the political arena to advance more equality and justice for workers out in the political arena. And so unions are a good avenue to help lead the way, but there's also lots of other organizations there. And I think it's really critical now that we come together and that we do that work together and just keep that energy going as much as we can, because we will never change the system by not doing anything.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary.